What's up, guys? It's Jadon with the MIC Network, and with me, as always. First off, let's take a look at the scores from last Friday night, starting off with Carmel taking on Pike.
This wasn't a very surprising win. Carmel came away 28-13 over Pike, and we both got that game right. And Carmel's just overall better, to be honest.
Move on to Center Grove, coming away with another huge victory, able to beat the Giants by a score of 29-22.
And I'm kind of upset that Ben Davis didn't win this game. I really thought they'd pull one over on Center Grove after their rough start to the season, but I guess I don't get that one right. So.
Next up, you move on to Warren Central taking on Lawrence Central in the first home game of the season for the Warriors.
Warriors came out with a whopping win of 47-0 for their homecoming game, and honestly, I am a little surprised that it's stuck at 0, at least maybe like a field goal, but I guess it just didn't happen. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they got that game right.
Yeah, we saw Romir Elliott have a huge game, coming away with over 330 rushing yards, good enough for a conference record, and 6 touchdowns.
Craziness.
All right, last but certainly not least, you move on to the game of the week, where the North Central Panthers took on the Wildcats of Lawrence North.
Well, this was a game in a torrential downpour. I was soaked, they were soaked, and they came away with a last-second touchdown to beat them 12-7. It was kind of interesting to see them play because they were both 2-1 going into this game, but North Central pulled away, and I think we both got that one correct.
I saw the Panthers come away with the last-second touchdown win from wide receiver Trayvon Elliott, brother of Romir Elliott. So you see the Elliott brothers both having big games and huge conference wins. So this week, on the week, you had Drew went 3 for 4, and we have our first perfect week as I predicted the games with a 4-4.
I'll get it this week.
All right, so talking about this week, let's start off with the Pike Red Devils taking on the Lawrence Central Bears.
This is going to be a tough one. Lawrence Central didn't score last week. I'm going to go Pike.
I'm going Pike.
LC has struggled throughout the season so far, coming away with only one win over rival Lawrence North. But I think at home, they'll come away with a huge win over Pike to get their season maybe going with a little momentum.
I don't know about that one.
Next up, you move on to 7th-ranked North Central taking on a team who has momentum rolling on their side, the 4th-ranked Center Grove Trojans.
Center Grove's getting the train rolling, as I was talking about, how they needed to get it, and now they're on a roll. In North Central, they did get the win last week, and I want to see them win more games. I really do. But Center Grove beating Ben Davis, I think Center Grove's going to pull away with it, though I want North Central.
Center Grove is riding a huge train of momentum right now, coming away with wins over Carmel and Ben Davis in back-to-back weeks. I think this week they're going to get their 3rd win in a row and be able to go out of this game with a winning record at 3-2.
And I do want to take a step back to the Pike LC game. Their quarterback is now bumped into the top 10 in the state for passing yards. Jason Graves, 782 passing yards, and he's sitting 7th in the state. I just wanted to bring that up because Pike hasn't had anybody reach the top 10 this season.
Talking about North Central, you bring up Liam Thompson still up there with 6th in the state, 798 passing yards. But let's move on to someone who is top 3 in the state when it comes to passing yards. Quarterback Jadon George, as he will lead the Warriors into battle with the East versus West matchup when Ben Davis travels to Warren Central to take on the Warriors.
Warriors are looking good. They're undefeated. Ben Davis has taken losses to Avon and Center Grove. And I think Warren overall has the stats to beat them. They have the people to beat them, and I don't think Ben Davis can. And I think Warren's going to stay undefeated.
Teams, one of the best rivalries in the state, always play back and forth. We saw last year Ben Davis come away with both wins. I think this year Warren Central is going to come away with the win. You look at them, Romir Elliott still top 3 in the state, upping at 815 rushing yards. David Bell, after not playing last week, still top 5 in the state with receiving yards at 418. It's my fault. And you're not going to take anything away from the Ben Davis offense. As you look at them with Delbert Mims, 448 rushing yards, 13th in the state. And talk about receiver, you bring up Dominic.
Yeah. When we talked about them last week, looking into the Center Grove game, hoping for them to do better. But they might pull out some more stats this week, but I don't think they're going to come away with a win.
Next up, you move into the MIC Network Game of the Week as the 5th-ranked Carmel Greyhounds will take on the 9th-ranked Lawrence North Wildcats.
Carmel.
I have to agree with that. I think Carmel's defense is definitely going to make it rough for Lawrence North. Last week we saw Lawrence North struggle at North Central, but I mean, it was a rainy game. This Friday looked to be nicer, but I still think Carmel's going to come away with a big win, move on to 4-1.
And the important thing to look at here, you know, as we're talking about statistics here, neither Carmel nor LN has anybody up there in the state. So this will be kind of interesting. Carmel's a legitimately good team. They don't have anybody who can perform at the outstanding level like somebody like Jadon George. But this will be kind of interesting because Carmel did go from 2nd to 5th. So I'm gonna stick with Carmel on this one, but it's gonna be interesting.
With that one, well, that's all we have here with Premictions. Make sure to tune in to the MIC Network Game of the Week this Friday as the Carmel Greyhounds take on the Lawrence North Wildcats.